Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's Jack, back with another video. And today we're going to be talking about choosing the right operators in the right situation. So we can run CCTV right now, and then we'll run a smoke, just because he has a good loadout to make rotations and stuff. So today we're going to be talking about choosing operators that you might not want to play but are better for your team, rather than choosing operators that you want to play but that won't really help your team. So Smoke is a really good operator. I like him a lot. He is People don't really realize how good he is, and that's mainly because a lot of people do not play him, because the FMG9, although it just got buffed, so it's pretty good now, it wasn't that good before, so people don't realize how good it is now. And also, most Pro League people run, and what I run, is the Shoddy and the SMG11, and most people just don't want to take the time to learn the recoil. I'm still learning it myself, but it's my recoil management is more doable than some people's, and also because he's not a fragger. Although he can get out of sticky situations, because he can either just swing on you and shotgun you, or he can just SMG11 you. He's just not a favorite for a lot of people to play, mainly because his gadget should be used as an anti-rush or plant denial. So let's say you're playing back here and you have that opened up. Most people aren't going to want to sit here and just wait for maybe a minute or more. But that's what you have to do to stop plants. So you can either throw it at the wall, or you can throw one to catwalk to stop a plant or a push. Also, throwing one here will also cut off red, so that's good. But anyways, so most people would want to play like a Doc, and they would probably want to play aggressively. So they would try and play in catwalk to get some early picks for people who are trying to either open up garage or trying to get in through the door. And then if they don't get that, they might have gone for like a spawn peek on main entrance, or they might play in construction or bedroom. And they're just going for picks. But the thing is, for people like me who don't have insane aim, it is so much more beneficial, and if you want to get better at this game and find a team, to play support. Because there are people who say, oh yeah, I play support and I play fragger, so I'm like an all-arounder. But you can't be both. You cannot be both. You can try and be both, but there's going to be one that's better, and that you have to realize is a better choice for you and for your team. So I play normally trio queued or in a 5-stack, and in my 5-stack I have people who are fraggers, and then I have people who are support. I'm the biggest support player on my team, and that's because our team is extremely frag heavy. We have 3 really good fraggers, and then we have me and then one other person who plays support, and we're both good at fragging, we just don't frag as much. So our team goes for a lot of rushes, because we play in gold to platinum range. So sometimes we can just rush them, and since we're super coordinated, we can just rush them and just get picks early on. And that leads us to winning the game. Now, back to what I was saying, that kind of leads into it. So, playing a smoke roll, you have to make sure you have to be your team's backbone. So, playing any support operator, really, you have to be your team's backbone, especially in solo queue. So you have to stay on site, even if you know, like, oh, some cool coconut bra trick where you, like, throw it out somewhere and get a kill off spawn. You have to stay on site, and you have to reinforce. Use all your reinforcements, use all your barbs wire everywhere, because in solo queue, a lot of your teammates are gonna go like on a deep roam or something, and then they'll just get picked. And if it's only 2 people on site, you have to be somebody who, like the smoke player, who is able to play on site and who is able to defend the site. Because okay, so let's use this site as an example. We're playing on CCTV Cache, if you didn't know. So let's say you have a Kaid who Kaid that, and then he's using the shoddy on catwalk, and then you have a Jaeger who's playing in bedroom, and then you're on site with a Doc, and then there is a Cav who's going on some crazy roam to try and get stragglers. So let's say that your Jaeger gets picked. Now, that isn't good because your Cav is like, let's say your Cav's in bar, right? So she could rotate, but you get calls that there are 3 people pushing from bedroom and gym. So now you know, so you have to think for a second. You have to think, okay, there are 2 places that they could enter if they want to keep their push up and going. They can either try and go out again after clearing the roamers, and they could try and take CCTV window, or they could push construction and and this is actually a very important part to think about. So do you wanna hold site, or do you wanna smoke off bedroom and then move over here? Let's say you have those reinforced, so you can just stay behind blue box. Do you want to do that and try and hold off construction? Or, like I said, do you want to stay on site and just hold them off? Let's say, if this is reinforced, you can just hold them with a shoddy. Or you could just get, like this line of sight. Or if they drone you out, you could play red or something and just get lines of sight. So, this is the big thing. So what I would do, probably, if I heard their footsteps, I would smoke the doorway, and then I would probably push back into the site. I would not push them because, let's say, I mean, it's 3 people. So it's going to be me, a smoke, against 3 people coming in here. Although I did smoke them off, I'm going to be here. I can take out like 1, maybe 2 of them with a mag, but then there could just be a buck or something, and they could just pre-fire me. And then that would be an easy pick. So if I smoke off the door, and then I push back into here, I'm safe, and I can just hold site. Now, although they get that control, they can only get desk as a line of sight unless they push over, and I can just hold a really tiny angle on them and then get a pick or 2, and then if they drone me out, I can just take another smoke and then either throw it deep in, or I could just throw it onto that window, or onto this door, sorry. And then I could step back for a second. I know, let's say my cab gets another pick, and so now I know that they're primarily going to push through here. So now I can just hold this off. If there's a barbed wire here, even better. So then I can hear them break it, and I can just quick peek them. And then that's a pretty easy kill. So that's why you should play the smoke instead of a dock. The thing is, with a dock, you could make the argument that you could do the exact same thing, but if you can't smoke them and take time to readjust as the dock, they're gonna drone you out, and then they can push in. They can just rush in, know where you are. There can be 3 of them, so 2 of them push one angle, or they each push an angle. Like one pushes here, and then one pushes there, and then you're dead. So that's why. Alright, now we're gonna do this on attack, and I'm gonna show you who to pick. So we can just go here. I'm going to be going a Thatcher roll. Or actually, yeah, sure, Thatcher. Alright, and I'm going to be running just breach charges so that I can get some open lines of sight. So, yeah. Thatcher is also good to play as a support operator. There's always a need for a Thatcher. I mean, every time you volunteer and play a Thatcher, every time you volunteer to play a Thatcher, you're gonna get it. Because nobody wants to play Thatcher. So, if you become good at playing Thatcher, then you're gonna get picked up by a team, probably, or you're gonna be a lot more appealing to a team at least, than somebody who just mains Ash and is really good. So, alright, so they're in bedroom. So, let's see. Alright. So, okay. Yeah. Alright, cool. So for a Thatcher here, this site doesn't have too many things to thermite, but one thing that does normally get opened, and that is pretty useful, is this balcony wall right here. It's 2 reinforcements, one here, one here. So if you put a thermite down right there, or like right there-ish, you can open up that, and you can also get a bit of that. So let's say you Thatcher it, and then that down, and it gets opened. So now there are 2 things you can do as the Thatcher. The L85 is a great gun, so it's very useful in pinch situations. I like it a lot since I used to main Sledge, so I know how to play it. So you can either stay here, or if you're using ACOG, which I don't because I just don't use ACOG. I don't think it's that necessary. Like even here you don't need ACOG. You get a completely clear line of sight. So you can either rappel on there and get a line of sight through the bars, or you can stay pushed here and you can be closer up. So staying closer up is what I would do with the Hala. So let's say they open it and you drone out bedroom hall, and there's nobody here, and then you drone out logistics, there's nobody there either, and then you drone out A, there's 2 people on there, and a rotate that goes into gym, and there's nobody playing in gym. So what I would do in this situation is I'll go for the gym take. If they're making it easy for me, I'm just gonna let it do it. Check for cap cans and all that, and So let's say their rotate is right here, right? So I'll just open this up. So this is their rotate. They have an impact here. And one of them is holding right here, like a bum. Or no. Actually, you can't get a sight through there. So, let's say there is a dock playing here in bathroom. And this wall is reinforced right here. So, the only thing that he can do is watch construction, bedroom window, and like this area of the hall. But then also, let's say he can swing here. So he can swing on that door, and then if he wants to, he can go for a pre-fire there to kill you. So what I would do in this situation is, if your thermite or Hibana has an extra charge, they can just try and open that up, which will force him to move. And while they're opening up this side, so you don't get blown up, you can just watch this. You can just watch the rotate really tightly, and then if you don't see the dock run by, it either means that he's moving to the couch, or that he's trying to go for a little flank on you. So this is where it's helpful to have somebody droning you in. So, but one thing that you can do if you don't see him there, if you drone right there and you see it's clear, you know he's gonna come around. So you have your thermite. Your thermite can go outside, hold this angle or that angle, and you can run in, like check. You can pre-fire a few angles, and then you can just plant behind here, and it's an easy plant. So, but then let's say the dock comes around, obviously you get the pick, but then there's 3 people left. So let's say you got an early pick on somebody who's trying to, I don't know, like barricade a door or something, right? So now there's 3 people left. You drone it out and you see one person playing in construction, and then you see one person who's rotated from construction into logistics, and they're looking to push bedroom. This, you're already in a power play. So let's say in that you got so it's a 2v3 now, right? Let's say that. You are still in a huge advantage. You are still in a humongous advantage because you have complete site control. You have all of gym and more than half of bedroom if you want to stay safe. If you don't want to stay safe, you can just watch it. You can have one person here watching logistics on a tight angle. You can literally just rappel here. Let's say it's a thermite with his ACOG, and he can just hold this tiny angle right there, or even through there, and he can just watch for heads, watch for crouchers, and then you can just sit right here and watch that door right there. And then what can they do? They can do absolutely nothing about it, but the thing is here, you can't. This is where you have to have good gun skill. If they push you, it's an easy pick, but you can't potato right here. Like, this is not a time where you can do that. You could also just, sorry, I was trying to tear down the barricade as an attacker. You could also just watch it from outside here, and they don't know you're there because they're probably focused on the site. So you can just watch it from here. You can listen for the diffuse, and then just swing on them. So, yeah. I'll plant it, get the round over, and then we'll do one more defense, just to show you. So yeah, so now it's online and active. And so you got your thermite watching this and that. And then you got you here watching that door. And then also, if they just rotate into bedroom, if that wall wasn't reinforced, which it normally is, except for sometimes if there's like a strat, then they would rotate, and you can just watch that there. You can just get some easy picks. So yeah. So although this is kind of strat video, wasn't really looking what I turned it into, but this is just showing how if you didn't have a Thatcher there, let's say you had an Ash, although that wouldn't have been as big of a deal, it still would have mattered, because what if that was, let's say, Kaided, or Kated? What could you do? Like, honestly. So I'm just gonna run Baz 12. It's like, what could you do if that you were Ash? You'd have to push a whole nother way, maybe take gym control through the window, but that's a lot harder since their rotate was there. Alright, now we're playing on basement, so church and arsenal room. So I'm playing a Valkyrie. Valkyrie is very good on this site. I like her a lot, because I normally throw a cam really like right up there. People don't really see it that much. It's pretty hidden. And it's kind of hidden by that tree branch. But, can I grab that? Okay, no. Alright, so normally have that reinforced. You have these reinforced. On this site, there aren't too many rotates that you do, just because this is like, this is a pretty, this is not a place that you want to be. You don't want to be walking through here, because you have this, you have blue stairs that are not blue stairs. You have main stairs that you can just get absolutely bopped from. So you normally don't have too many rotates. Sometimes people have a rotate right here. I've seen people play this. I don't understand it, really. I mean, I guess if you were getting pushed from dirt or tunnel, but I don't know. This is an okay place to play, because you're really protected with all this stuff, but I mean, it's not the greatest, because it's a pretty basic spot to play, and you can just get absolutely pre-fired from there. But yeah, so I would throw a Valcam into tunnel. Let's think of my, I'm gonna think of my other Valcams that I use on this map. Sometimes I would throw one like in there. Whoops. Throw one. Oh my god, can I just not aim today? Okay, it's just sticking to everything, so gotta do it that way. It's like there maybe. So you can watch oil, and you can also watch arsenal and blue stairs. And then sometimes I would throw one up on one of the hatches, like, I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. And then maybe I'd throw one in like here in kitchen, like, I don't know, just to get some sight up there. Then you got this one, so you can watch kitchen hatch. You can impact trick kitchen, if you didn't know that. It's just that it's very vulnerable, so it's not the best thing to do. because if you're just looking like this with your impacts, you can just get fricked from the back here. So it's not too good. And then yeah, you can just impact that, or normally that's one of the hatches that is cated. But yeah, alright, so back to our actual topic of the video. Why should you choose Valkyrie over Doc? Now, Doc, let's say you already have a smoke and a pulse and a Kaid and let's say a Maestro. You're like, okay, maybe I should go Doc because I like Doc. I'm pretty decent with Doc, and these sites are pretty wide, so I think Doc would be a pretty good play. That's where Doc is. That's where the French boys are gonna deceive you. Playing Doc and Rook, they're good, like they're gonna help you or whatever. But playing as a good Doc or a good Rook is extremely challenging, because being a Rook isn't just set it and forget it, even though that is his gadget. Like, you have one of the easiest guns in the game to get, and if you're not getting picks, there's no point in playing him over a Valkyrie or a Jaeger, because I mean, you could have brought so much more utility, but you just brought that. And then 90% of the time, like 99% of the time, like how do I make this like the perfect amount? Like 95% of the time, alright, you're gonna get a Doc who doesn't play Doc correctly. Doc is very specific, and even though it doesn't seem like it, you have to play him extremely well. You have to be able to have a good gun skill, because if people need a stim, then they need it now, and you have to give it to them. You have to be able to meet them halfway, and like maybe get a pick off somebody who's trying to get the hatch, stim them, go back down, and play aggressively back down. You have to meet your team's needs no matter what. And I know that sounds kind of crazy, but if it sounds crazy to you, then just don't play Doc, because that's what Doc is supposed to do. He's supposed to heal his teammates. And if you have more than, if you have any stims at the end of the round, either your team has to play flawlessly with nobody getting injured at all, or hurt at all, or you're just playing Doc incorrectly. Oh yeah, alright, sorry. One sec, Mom. Sorry. My mommy was just, my mom was just asking me a question. My mommy. But yeah. Alright, sorry. So yeah, that's why. But if you play Valkyrie, I mean, even if your cams aren't the best, so let's say you throw them on like right there, that's still a pretty good cam. Also, what I see a lot of Valkyrie players doing is they throw it in sight. What I used to do as a Valkyrie, I used to throw one above every single bomb, and then I'd throw one like in a random spot. You want to use it in a place where you know it'd be useful. My biggest siege tip is use things that would work against you. Use your utility, put your barbed wire in a place where it would work against you. Put your cameras in a place where you wouldn't expect it, or in an area that you would push. Like, don't put your cameras in sight. That's just weird. Like, if you're putting your cameras in sight, that means your team is so bad that the anchors can't do their job. So there's no point in putting it in sight. But yeah, that's mainly all I have to say about why you should choose a utility operator over a frag operator, because you can never have enough utility, you can never have enough information, and just trust me on this, if you start playing more Valkyrie and more Jaeger and more Maestro, your team is going to start winning a lot more rounds and you're going to get a lot more noticed and Thermite and Thatcher than if you're playing an Ashe. Because what if you get picked? Then what do you do? What are you going to do about that? You didn't help your team at all, and you could have helped your team even if you died. So thank you for watching. I know I haven't posted in a while. I've just been trying to get some editing software, and I just haven't gotten it completely down yet. So I will be posting a lot more soon. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. How did that not just kill me? I'm extremely surprised.